sign to like burn out is when I start like scrolling TikTok until like 3 a.m. or something. Yeah, and I'm a working adult. I shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, so I knew that like this was gonna happen. Then I think like in this week I had like 1 or 2 days that I had nothing to do at night. So like then I like really like went into full mood of like scrolling TikTok and scrolling Taobao because I love to shop as well. Yeah, but I thank God that I get bored. So like I never like today when I woke up and then I scroll some more, then I realized like I'm so bored of this life. I want to like do something with my life. Yeah. So what happened is that actually God has been prompting me to read more about who Jesus is. Yeah, because I always ask God like, hey God, like actually Jesus was only mentioned in like the gospel, like how he went about life. Yeah, and then that is explicitly, but I want to know like who he really is because I feel like sometimes we just go about like saying Jesus or we want to be more like Jesus, but then actually like I don't really like know Jesus in and out. Yeah, so I wanted to go to like the bookstore to go and like find a book about Jesus. Yeah, so I did that. So I like showered, I got to my car and then I went like, okay, bookstore. So I went to bookstore. So I think quite cool because along the way, right, I don't know why there was this word, sequoia. You know the word sequoia?
Oh yeah, Sequoia is it?
Yeah, sequoia, right? It's not a common word, right? Like this word kept popping out in my head, and I was like, oh my god, such an annoying word. I don't even know what it means. Yeah, so like I actually went to like go and find a book. So when I went to a bookstore, I went to like this Christology section, which like really talks about who Christ is. So then I picked up a book and then honestly I was quite like amazed at like Jesus or God hearing out my prayer. Like I was really on the verge of burnout, so I don't know why God still speak to me. I mean I know lah, but yeah, so like in this I continued reading and then it says something about how like honestly, yeah, let me try to find this. Yeah, there was a book that says like how there was a boy who was utterly transfixed on like his Game Boy, even though he was in a very like nice nature place. And then the author said like he observed this young man, and the young man had never lifted his eyes to look at the trees. He kept looking at his Game Boy. And then the author wrote, how could a few pixels on the computer screen compare with the majesty of these giant sequoias? I was like, oh my god, that's a tree. Like I didn't know like what it means, but at the moment I feel that like I have been praying for God to give me a book about like Christ, an in-depth study on his life, and at the same time, like this word have to appear in the very book that I picked up. Yeah, so I like through this, I really like knew that like Jesus could hear me, or like God was hearing my prayer. Yeah, but at the same time, like I started walking around like the bookstore. Then there's this Timothy Keller book about like hidden Christmas. Yeah, talking about like actually the many wonders that came from Christmas that we often overlook with like joy and like happiness of like Christmas. Yeah, but not really digging deeper about like what does it mean that Jesus came down that day. So I think like when I was reading the book, God like yeah, I'm very full. Okay, yeah, but okay, the book reminded me about like how Jesus is the light, and honestly, it shed light to like how the world is really very dark today. Like I don't know about your lives, I can talk about generally like violence or like injustice, abuse of power, homelessness, refugees, and my family's rip apart, and I think grief even. And honestly, even if you all are going through holiday, I'm pretty sure that some of you all are going through like a down season in your own life also. That like you are experiencing a season of darkness. And I know some of you all who are really going through that, but to those who like I don't know what is going on in your life, I hope that there's someone with you. Yeah, but at the same time, like I think Christmas portrays a very like joyful event where like suddenly everyone has extra money to buy each other's gifts, and like people believe that like in this period of time all we feel is happiness, all we feel is this like giving of one another, and somehow Christmas become happier because we are there for each other. Yeah, and the book then told me that like, actually it is quite a false advertisement because it puts us in a spell where like if we try harder to like love one another, if we try harder to fill each other up, there will one day be a solution where like there will be peace, there will be no problem, and life will just be good. Yeah, and I was quite shocked because I was like, huh? But like Christmas is dead, isn't it? Yeah. And the book continued to say that actually, like, we dig deep into our life, we realize that a lot of time in our life, we face a lot of imperfect love. But I think I wanted to share this on like my own, what do you call it, life testimony. That like, even me as a leader, I think like along the years when I lead people, right, I do my best to love people. And have you ever met a scenario where you do your best to love someone but the person get hurt? I don't know if you have ever like felt that way, but it's like you read your mind like day and night just to think like, okay, what's the nicest way to like talk to this person? What is the best gift that I can give to this person? And then after all of that, then you realize that the same person you were trying to love got hurt because your love was simply just imperfect. Yeah, and then I think what happened to me after that is like, wow, I wonder like, why this person so ungrateful? Why this person like don't see that I love the person? Yeah, but the truth is like that was also some of my pride trying to cover over my lack of affirmation or like how the person didn't see how I was trying my best. Yeah, but at the same time, like the deeper truth is that we are all sinners and like no matter how perfect our love is, we are still in a world of sin. And yeah, it's impossible to look within to try to like gather more love out for the world. Yeah, and when we were preparing for this Christmas, honestly, we know that the theme is like a seat at the table. But at the same time, like, we didn't want it to be like a full-on celebration only, but we wanted to create a space for people to be able to know that we are actually all broken. We are all actually going through like our things. But I think the difference with all of us is that it's not that we try harder to fix the things around us. It's not that we try to pull everything together and make the world a better place. But instead, typically in our life, it is admitting that our life is really quite bad sometimes. And honestly, we cannot heal or save ourselves. But the hope in this world of darkness is that there is Jesus and He's the light of the world. And in John 18 says, and I contextualize for us, it's hey, SIT and PSB, GCU as well. Jesus is the light of the world, and whoever who follows him will never walk in darkness, but will always have the light of life. So I just want to like share with us that like honestly the light couldn't have come from like the earth that we live in today. It has to come from somewhere else because we all know that darkness is really quite bad in this world. Yeah, but I just want to like remind us if like anyone needs to hear this today or anyone that is struggling today, the reminder is you don't have to hide that the world is really dark and Christmas is not here to cover up with nice events and gifts, but it is to create a space to know that within the laughter there can be emptiness, but it's not something that we're doing alone. Yeah. So I hope that this encourage you all, or at least like it brings to your mind some friends that is going through these things and that y'all can invite also. Yeah. So we actually planned this time to be a time of like sharing people and talk about like the one that Xiao we sent on to the SID chat. So maybe like I can start us with a word of prayer first. Yeah. Let's pray.